2017 was an amazing year for games, and even though I didn't get to play as much games as I'd hoped, but I did play some games that I really did enjoy last year. And yes, I know I said in my Cuphead review that I would be reviewing Hollow Knight before doing my top 5 games of the year, but that game was way longer than I thought it was going to be. So here we are. So with that said, what's happening you lot? It's StealthDeception in the scene once again, and these are my top 5 games of 2017. Coming up first at number 5, we have Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This game almost made me cry just because of the pain and suffering that Senua has been placed in throughout her adventure. Ninja Theory really did their research when creating Senua's character, which was executed perfectly by Melina Jurgens. I know I said her name wrong in my review, but she did such a wonderful job. I still can't understand how she did this good, and this is her first ever acting role with no other prior experience. That's just crazy. In real life, people normally are quick to judge someone with mental problems, but I feel Hellblade managed to spread a message to people that psychosis is a serious problem. Anyone going through this needs psychological help. It's not something that you should brush to the side and just say, oh, he or she is just a mad person. Understand, if someone is talking to themselves or hearing voices or seeing things, it might not be real to any sane person, but it definitely feels real to anyone actually going through that. And you really see that perspective in this game. You actually feel like there are voices in your head thanks to the binaural audio effect, and the voices were cleverly executed, making you feel confused as they helped you at points during combat to making fun of you whenever you make a mistake. The hallucinations that Senua experiences and the mixed emotions of happiness, sadness, heartache and outright fear just grabs you, and it feels like you share the experiences with her every step of the way. And it helps that Hellblade has fluid and responsive combat mechanics as well, but I feel like the gameplay takes a backseat for a well written narrative and fleshed out story about a topic that really isn't talked about that much in video games. I know I sound very serious right now, but that's how this game made me feel, man. And finding out that people who've played Hellblade that are either going through something similar or know someone in a similar situation coming forward and thanking Ninja Theory for creating a video game character that they can relate to is heartwarming. This game is amazing. At number 4, we have Cuphead. This game is fun, man. Like, it's hard, fucking hard. In fact, this is one of the hardest, if not the hardest game I've ever played, but I'll be lying if I said I didn't enjoy this. Learning each boss's patterns and coming up with strategies to destroy these bosses is all part of the fun, and the satisfaction that you get when you finally beat them after like the 200th attempt is unreal. And the presentation, man, I mean, come on, none of you watching this video can sit there and tell me that this art style does not look amazing. If any of you are thinking that, then I'm sorry, you're fucking crazy. Each boss is so creatively designed, and the soundtrack is just exquisite. I love it. Never in my life did I think that energetic jazz would mesh well with frustratingly rage-inducing bosses, but it works. Studio MDHR, fantastic job on this game, man. The game went double platinum recently, and for an indie game, that's massive. But it's a good game, so there's a reason why it went double platinum. At number 3, we have NieR Automata. 2017 was the year that I finally gave the RPG genre a chance. After years of having a closed mind towards them, I finally caved and I was like, alright, let's try one out. And all I can say is, what the fuck was wrong with me? I've been missing out tremendously if more games like this and another game that's further up the list are around. NieR is incredible. The combat is so fast paced and fluid, you don't slow down for a second. The controls are spot on. The development between the 3 main characters, I just couldn't keep my eyes off. The multiple gameplay styles thrown in here gave every set piece something new to look forward to. And do I have to mention the soundtrack? Yes, I'm going to mention it because it is the embodiment of perfection. I already ejaculated massively over this soundtrack during my review, but that's how good the soundtrack is. As I said, the soundtrack made me check the game out in the first place. That has never happened before. Never have I wanted to check a game out based on the soundtrack alone. And it just helped that the gameplay itself equally matches up with the quality of the soundtrack. Platinum Games made a massive comeback this year with this game. I just have one question now. Square Enix, why hasn't the PC version been patched yet? It's been almost a year now since the game came out and still nothing. What the fuck? Anyway, apparently there's already talks of making a sequel to this, which I'm ready for. Bring it on, mate. At number 2, we have Sonic Mania. We got an amazing Sonic game this year, guys. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. Alright, we got a mediocre game this year as well. But still, when was the last good Sonic game released? In 2011 with Sonic Generations. It's been 6 years, and we finally get another one. And funnily enough, it's not made by Sega. Instead, it's made by a small team of passionate fans that know the series like the back of their hand. I can already hear the naysayers, oh, it's nostalgia pandering. I mean, it is to some degree, but is it a good game? Yes, it's a fucking fantastic game, and that's all I want with a Sonic game, and we got that. It's a nice blend of brand new stages and familiar stages with redesigned level layouts. Christian Whitehead, Simon Tomley, Pagoda West Games, job well done, man. You have created one of the best Sonic games in the entire franchise, and this has become my go-to Sonic game now. These guys, I hope, have reminded Sega and Sonic Team that it's not all about high quality graphics, and goes back to a point where Sonic was on top and manages to recapture that perfectly. Because just remember, I've been playing Sonic since the Mega Drive days, so having this game hit the right spots for me is all I ask for, man. Top that off with a killer soundtrack. I mean, come on, it's Sonic, of course it's gonna have a great soundtrack. All I ask for is for Sega to give the Mania team full creative control of the next installment and give us all new stages and gimmicks, as they have not only 100% shown the potential to make a top quality product as a result of their efforts, but make a top quality product as a result of their efforts better than the original creators. And finally, at number 1, we have Horizon Zero Dawn. Man, this game is just groundbreaking. Like, practically everything about this game I was encapsulated by from beginning to end. I remember the first time I saw gameplay back in E3 of 2016 and was just amazed by what I was seeing. This game made me want to buy a PS4 because something was telling me that I had to play this. And yeah, there were other games like Uncharted and Crash Bandicoot and all that, but Horizon was the main reason. The story was so well put together and so much detail was put into this. There are tons and tons to explore in the expansive open world, whether it's finding toolnets, exploring cauldrons, and most importantly, encountering the various machines available. There was always an exciting thrill with every machine I faced, and the main missions just kept roping me back in. Every time I wanted to stop after ending a mission, the game was like, get your ass back here, you got to do the next one. And even the side missions I had an interest in, I couldn't care less beforehand, with bad examples like Batman Arkham Knight and Mirror's Catalyst being fetch quests, but this game gave me a reason to care about these people and want to help them. And even things like seeing the machines acting like regular animals when they didn't notice me made me realize that this was the perfect game to escape. All the examples mentioned, I just got lost in it all, and it was extremely hard to put the controller down. It might as well have been glued to my hands. Just remember, at one point I spent over 8 hours playing this game non-stop. When a game grabs you that much, it's undeniable that this game could be Game of the Year. And once the Frozen Wilds expansion came out in November, it was practically nailed at the number 1 spot at that point. There was absolutely no way in hell that this wasn't going to be my Game of the Year. With the expansion offering new locales, weapons, outfits, machines, cauldrons, and a new story arc. This is not only my Game of the Year. This is not only one of my favorite games of all time, but like I said in my review, it's one of the greatest gaming experiences I've ever had. And the ironic part is, Horizon Zero Dawn is an RPG, a genre that until this game, I didn't give a fuck about. It might sound like I've been fanboying about this game and hyping it to a ridiculous degree, but I'm sorry man, that's how much of an impact this game left me in. If you have a PS4, just like Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn needs to be in your PS4 library. It's a must. Well, that's the end of my list, but not the end of the video. Before that, let's check out my honorable mentions. And with that, we've come to the end. What were your top 5 games of 2017? Or if you can't think of 5, let me know your favorite game of 2017 down in the comments. I'm proud of myself, man. I did a lot of reviews last year compared to the 2 reviews I did in 2016. I may have failed my New Year's resolution, but hey, I did a lot, so I'm proud of myself. But still, man, I'm quite bummed that I didn't get to review Hollow Knight before the year ended. But no matter, this is the slow period of game releases, so I have plenty of time to work on that. But stay tuned for a surprise video that should be up relatively soon. You guys have a great 2018, and with that said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, this is Stealth signing out.